Did you know that for this movie, Stellan Skarsgård's body makeup took 8 hours to apply and 2 hours to remove for every day of shooting? He didn't drink anything and took Imodium pills in order to avoid having to go to the bathroom during shooting days. So I saw Dune Part 2 last night. I actually wasn't really gonna go see this movie. I saw the first Dune movie and I found it to be really enjoyable. I just didn't understand a whole lot of it, so I wasn't gonna go see Dune Part 2 because not understanding the first movie, I knew I wouldn't understand a lot going on in this movie, but I actually understood more in this movie than I thought. Here are my 3 things in the movie that I liked the most. First thing in this movie I liked the most, and probably the biggest thing in the movie, was how cinematic it was. Denis Villeneuve is like the master of epics at this point. He puts so much heart and so much effort into everything he does to make the experience as grandiose as possible. Anything that can make the movie more cinematic and epic, Denis is going to do.
And the one thing I really liked about the epicness of this movie was the color grading.
I find that if color grading is done correctly, it can tell a lot more about a scene or a character than dialogue or action could. And in Dune, of course, it's done to the extreme to make those details more important or in your face. That creates a certain mood, which is really powerful. An absolutely amazing villain in this movie, Feyd-Rautha Harkonnen, portrayed by Austin Butler. I do just want to say that I'm really happy Austin Butler is really getting out there, landing some huge roles. I've been a huge fan of him ever since I saw him in the movie Elvis, but now I get to see a different side of Austin Butler, playing a psychotic killer. There's a lot of things going on with Feyd-Rautha that I'd like to know more about. His character is one of intrigue to me. Just everything about him, the way he carries himself, the way he speaks, his presence on screen gets you focused up. It gets you wanting more of Feyd-Rautha. He had a lot of great scenes in this movie. I absolutely loved every scene he was in. I honestly could have gone for more Feyd-Rautha, and I don't know if there's going to be a director's cut of this movie or not, but if there is, I would love to see more of Feyd-Rautha's scenes, maybe some deleted scenes, because he was by far the best character in the movie for me. And I hope when the Academy Awards roll around, he wins a few awards, because in my book, he won them all, because he was absolutely incredible. My last reason I like this movie a lot is I love the story and also love the character developments. The story is simple at other times. It's quite complicated, very political, very religiously motivated, which I love that. I love how they really dove deep into the religious side. The Messiah figure is a very popular figure in a lot of religious texts. But the thing I love the most is the two sides, the true believers and the doubters. And it was up to the true believers to convert the doubters over, because it was the only way they were going to regain control of their planet. Paul Atreides' character, he doubts himself most of the movie. He doesn't truly believe he's the Messiah till a certain part in the movie. There's just so much going on with his character, so many things he's had to gain, but also so many things he has to lose. There's a pretty heartbreaking scene in the movie. I'm not going to go into details because it spoils some stuff, but there's a heartbreaking scene near the end of the movie that spoke volumes to Paul's character and the journey he has to be on. Now he's on a whole different level. Chani's character also gave me some pause too, with just how she was supporting Paul through everything and was always by his side, and then just how it ended. I have no idea what that's going to do with her character, but I'm very invested in her character now after seeing what happened. But this movie was incredible. I'm going to say it's the best movie of the year. Best movie I'm probably going to see this year. I highly recommend checking this movie out as soon as you possibly can, because it is such an epic movie, and I'm sure you're going to love it. So for Dune Part 2, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below, who's your favorite character from Dune? See you next time.